Today we will talk about two university dreams, international tourism and international business. The boys that will be White Juice B and Natalie Munoz. And the third is that these are important topics for the boys who want to students these two careers since her combined careers uni. We explain the pros and cons of studying and career. I will be an expensive that since field investigation of these careers were carried out and some students told us about their experience in their regard. When we think of tourism, the first thing that comes to mind is usually related to traveling and being on vacation. However, this activity covers much broad uses international tourism. Accreditation to the World Tourism Organization over their last few years since they became one of the fastest growing economic activity in the world. Achieving being, for example, the large source of income and development for some countries. Thus, this economic activity is linked to several factors that determine its importance. One in two jobs in the world determine culture preservation, protect the environment, generate great success, achieves economic growth, causing the development of industries. The tourism create is necessarily linked to all these uses. The training that students receive, together the course that has to on the one hand, while the nationally and world economic the interpretation of the phenomenon of globality and analysis of society on the other hand it covers specific uses of tourism activity. It's a career that has a strong strings in history and geography where STEM learn about the various forms of expression of societies together the years. In addition, topics related to business, administration, and marketing are studied and different languages are practiced. How low is the tourist degree? The tourist career can be taken in person or virtuality, and there are options to study in public or private institutions. As for the duration and the drains that is about in can vary depending on where you visit to study. For example, the technical drinks in tourism can last for 2-3 years, while for the bachelor drinks you will have to study for years. Rather, it's of the technical study have a training more related to the specific practice of tourism, while the bachelor's degrees prepare professionals to develop in an aspect of the professional, especially in tasks related to management. Whether the subject together these course can work in how do with groups of people and having administration can relate are the two basic questions for this professional. These will in general all student plans include are related to business administration, human resource and social psychology amongst the most common subjects that you can fill in the research: economy, accounting, marketing, administration, company languages, English, Portuguese, French, Italian, institutional community, management of tourist service, cultural heritage, geographic, anthropology, commercialization, statistics, psychology. The tourism streams are training or oriented to the knowledge of international tourism regions and is also instruction in everything that has to do with administration and the economy, also studies incidents for the activity. What does a Bachelor of Tourism do? As the tourism grade covers very broad, can leverage the activity that professional can carry out are varied. The greatest has the ability to manage tourism, venture programming, destination and providing guidance on the available alternatives according to the needs of tourism. He is also the capability of analyzing the impact that tourists can have in a certain regional as well as the incorporate of certain expectation to promote. It is also complete of organization and direct company roles to tourism activity, establishing events and tourists, develop quality standards and conservation of tourist resources, plan and manage tourist activity, design budget plan for companies, analyze the various tourism marketing, coordinate activity and circuits related to tourism, research about tourist supply demand, develop products related to the area of competence, organization, attractive and involved circuits and tour. Through it, detailed information about the distinct to visit. This exchange includes everything that has to will previous helpful action, clothing in accordance with the watch, routine or routes that can be done and everything related to their trip. What the tourist gradation is in charge of coordinational groups of tourists. He has to answer their stay and the familiarity they have to feel with the groups of which they are part. What is the profile of the tourism student? These are interested in traveling in usually the main reason will student choose to study careers related to tourism. There are also certain quality that you can consider as part for profile, creativity, ability, charms and sprint, good interpretation, relationships, recklessness, take to action, evolution is the propulsize, curiosity that drives you to discover, ability to interpret moms, that's for instruction about something you know, entrepreneurial spirit, interest in the culture and history, hearting of cities, adventure spirit, organization capacity, good oral expression, narrative ability, persuasive expression, desire for reading, leadership, attitude, ace of hiding language, study tourism, in which sector and company does a bachelor's of tourism work. Graduates of the tourism grades has the possibility of working in private or tourism institutions that are related to tourism. She can also work independently in developing her own business or can offer her service to companies. Some of the places where you can work when to graduation are travel agency, tourism promotion agency, hotels, museums, private or government agency of tourism, natural and then parks, historical and culture centers, tourism service companies, tourism venture, education institution, labor demand and the jobs mark of the Bachelor of Tourism. The tourism grade provides with its student plan the possibility of carrying out professional practice in a great will company where can you put in practice what you have learned during the course. In this way, a first approach to the labor market is achieved, allowing the incorporation of theoretical and practical knowledge. As we said before, is booming activity that, thanks to its diversity and relationship with regional economies, is looking for specialist professionals to develop wills different. In tourism, activity are part of government policies, so is coming an intention of developments and sources of labor demand for the professionals. What is the in the life of tourism graduate like? The in the life of tourism graduate can vary greatly depending on the field in which he is working. If the workplace turns out to be an office in which it is very linking that the schedule that must be met is the one that brings the attention to the public. 8 hours divided between the morning and the afternoon. In this international weekly, the different destinations must be country tourism group organization being count. Why the counting than are thriving and resolve the conflict that might arise in this circuit. On the other hand, if you carry out your activity in a tourist destination, again the working hours will be very different, since they will be adapted to the time in which those spaces are open to the public. I want to study the tourism trade not only because I like to travel, but because I am also interested in actively collaboration in the propagation of this enriching activity for humanity in general.